What's going on YouTube, man? I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff on my channel, but this just had to be said, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's beyond just Superman being black, as you can see by the title. It's more so just the DC Extended Universe has just been completely slapping all DC fans in the face for years at this point. For years. You know, they had something great with Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan's movies, the trilogy. And, you know, it wasn't perfect. There were some things that we could all critique about it, but that was a very good Batman, especially trying to kind of like make it into the most realistic as you can, you know, because of course a man in a bat suit isn't realistic, but trying to make it as realistic as possible. They did an excellent job. But when you compare MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they have just done a phenomenal job, not only building up all these characters, because that's another thing DC doesn't do, which we're going to get into later, but they build up all these different characters, and they make characters who people really didn't even give a fuck about relevant. You know what I'm saying? Think about people like Ant-Man. Nobody was giving a fuck about no Ant-Man, but the movie was so good. People weren't caring about Hawkeye and Black Widow. I mean, they had a fan base, of course, but people weren't. They're not the heavy hitters of Marvel. They weren't the Spider-Mans, the Thors, Iron Man, people like that. So they built all of these people up. They gave them backstories. They gave them sequels to the backstories, all the while building up one big universe to where you got all the Avengers coming together, and then you got like the creme de la creme of the whole franchise, Infinity War, which was, you know, Thanos coming and all the Avengers together now. You got Black Panther, you got Thor. You know, you got the whole Avengers team. Spider-Man is coming up, and now we're waiting on the aftermath, you know. But they built all these characters up. Thor has like 3 or 4 movies to himself. Captain America, 2 or 3 movies, you know. And when you compare all of that to the DC Extended Universe, what do we get? I'm talking about since they like revamped it. Christian Bale doesn't count. But you got Batman versus Superman, which was a train wreck of a movie. It was a train wreck of a movie. I kind of enjoyed it just because I'm a huge Batman fan. And I like Superman. I'm not a huge fan, but I am a fan of Superman. But, you know, it was a train wreck. The plot was horrible. Lex Luthor was horrible in that movie. Well, he wasn't even technically Lex Luthor. He was Alexander Luthor, right? Because that was supposed to be like his son. He was trash. Superman was too goddamn brooding in all the movies. Oh, well, I forgot. We had Man of Steel before Batman versus Superman. But Superman's way too brooding. He's not powerful enough. I mean, he's powerful, but I don't know. But that's the main thing with Superman. He's way too brooding. Batman, I mean, they broke the cardinal rule. Everybody knows Batman does not kill. If there's any superhero that will not kill under any circumstances, it's Batman. And he killed about 1,000 men in Batman versus Superman alone. So it was just a train wreck of a movie, and they just threw Wonder Woman in there. They just threw her in. She had no business being in that movie, but they just threw her goddamn ass in. They just threw Doomsday in. I know they explained it kind of, but it seemed like Doomsday just came out of nowhere. And Justice League was horrible. Aquaman was okay, I guess, and Flash was kind of okay. I don't know, he was a little bit too goddamn nerdy, but I can kind of understand Wally West. But, you know, Wonder Woman was okay, but they just can't get their shit together. And now we're looking at just another fuck up. They're trying to make Superman black. Now, the only people that agree with Superman being black are, you know, these goddamn extreme leftists. You know what I'm saying? But these are the same people that, I'm not even going to go there. But the main reason why you can't make Superman black is because in order to make him black, you got to change up the entire backstory. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to my mother the other day. We went out to lunch, got some lunch. And, you know, she's older and she don't give no fuck about no goddamn superheroes and all that shit. But even she knows Superman is supposed to be a big, tall, muscular motherfucker with blue eyes and got the little black hair right here on his forehead. He's, you know, like the Boy Scout goody two-shoes type of guy. That's Superman. But you want to have some black, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with a black superhero, but I think I speak for all DC fans when I say leave the backstories alone. You've already kind of fucked up Batman. I mean, the damage isn't irreparable, but You almost fucked him up. Wonder Woman's okay, but and Superman needs a lot of work, but taking him into a black person is not the answer, man. You can't fuck that up. And then what are they gonna do? They're gonna make Lois Lane black too, or they're gonna leave her white? And yeah, that's probably what they'll do. They'll leave them an interracial couple. That's the ultimate, and have an interracial baby probably. But what's next? Batman is going to be transgender. Wonder Woman is a black man or a Mexican man or green. See, what they should have done, instead of messing with these other superheroes, just introduce black superheroes. DC has black superheroes. You see Marvel, they kept Thor blind. They left Tony Stark as kind of like a handsome kind of guy, and Captain America. They did a great job. Of course, you got to tweak it a little bit just for the big screen, but they did a great job with staying true to all the characters in Marvel. So, what they need to do is just introduce people like Green Lantern. There's a black Green Lantern. And the cool thing about Green Lantern is there's many Green Lanterns. So you can choose any of them. If you really want to introduce a black person into the DCEU, introduce Green Lantern. I can't remember his name. Of course, there's Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner. But what's the black one's name? I can't remember. It's just slipping my mind right now. But that's the one I grew up on, man. I remember I used to sit in front of that TV for hours watching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and the Green Lantern, that was black, and everybody loved him. Then you got characters like Static Shock. See, that would be a money maker, because you got everybody around my age who grew up on Static Shock. And I would love to see a live action Static Shock, man. That shit would be amazing. So instead of capitalizing off of that or introducing a black Green Lantern or both, or introducing people, I know they're making a Teen Titans, but you got Cyborg, he's black, and then you got Beast Boy, he's supposed to be Latino, and they're making Starfire into a black woman, even though she's not really supposed to be black. But stay with all of that. But stop trying to fuck with Superman. Superman is arguably one of the most popular superheroes ever. Everybody knows Superman. You know what I'm saying? He's superhero incarnate. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Superman. He's one of the oldest, and everybody grew up on Superman, even your parents, probably your grandparents too. So to just disregard all of that and just make him black, it's just a huge slap in the face for everybody who's a fan of the DC universe, man. And I just don't know what it is about them that they just can't get the shit right. Like, the only good thing about Batman vs. Superman and Wonder Woman, even Justice League to a certain extent, are really good fight scenes. The fight scenes are pretty goddamn good. Like, I remember that warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman. That's the best fight scene I've seen in any movie ever. Damn sure a superhero movie. So the fight scenes are good, the action is good, but the stories are piss poor and too goddamn convoluted. And the reason they're convoluted isn't because Zack Snyder isn't necessarily a good writer or a good director. The main reason why they're so convoluted is because they're trying to play catch up, but they need to take their time. See, they're trying to catch up to Infinity War every goddamn movie. So they introduce like 4 or 5 characters at once and just try to mesh all of them together. But what they should have done was they had Man of Steel. Then what they should have done, I think they should have picked a young Batman, one that was the same age as Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot, however you say her name, and all these other people, so they can build him up. But whatever, if they insisted on making an old Batman, they should have started off with a Batman solo movie. A Batman who's already, basically just how Batman was in BVS, just an older Batman who's battle-worn, no killing, but built him up and just showed him, fight Deathstroke. But see, they want to do that after, and they want to make it like before. It's the whole shit is just convoluted, man. It's too goddamn perplexing, and it's too complex, man. I don't know why. It's so easy. It's so easy. If they would just get on YouTube and watch videos like this, and I've seen countless others, if they would just follow the blueprint of what everybody wants to see and follow the blueprint of what the Marvel Universe has already done, they're sitting on a gold mine. They're sitting on a gold mine. If they dropped the Batman solo movie today, I would skip class and go straight to the movie, man. Hands down. Because I know that the action, well, no, I don't know. I would like to think the action would be good, because they almost kind of fucked Batman up in Justice League. I mean, he was doing his thing, but goddamn, he was getting his ass whooped the entire movie. And I don't know, man. Like, they had him, like, telling jokes and stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know why they can't just go back and watch the cartoon Justice League Unlimited and just completely rip the shit off. You know what I'm saying? Just completely rip the goddamn shit off. because that story in there was amazing. They built everything up. So, and see, even with Justice League Unlimited, they started off with Batman the animated series. They started off with Superman the animated series. And those two started having crossovers because they existed in the same universe. And they built that up, and then they introduced Green Lantern, introduced Wonder Woman, introduced da 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 da. And throughout 4 seasons, I think like 20 episodes apiece, they slowly built it up into the big finale where Lex Luthor, I know you guys remember Lex Luthor and Darkseid went over, they had the anti-life equation, and that was the end of the series. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was together. Everybody worked through all their differences, and that was the end. Why can't they do that with the goddamn movies, man? Like, it's so easy. Like, I know, of course, it's not as easy as I'm making it, but it's so easy just to put the ideas, and put those ideas on paper, and put them on the screen. And I don't know why they can't do it. So, to end this rant, nobody wants a black Superman. You can go up and down YouTube and Twitter and all this shit. Nobody wants a black Superman. That's completely fucking them up. Like I said, I had my fucking mom when we went out to lunch, met her up at lunch. She was talking about that's how stupid that is. And she don't give no fuck about Superman. So that just shows you how asinine their way of thinking is. Because it's just, you just completely tarnish the entire idea of Superman. It's just, it's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if they made Thor a black 6'4" man with dreads. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not Thor. You know what I'm saying? And just like if they introduce Static Shock, don't make Static Shock white, because Static Shock is black. That's his character. You can't make Black Panther white. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do all this shit to try to ride the coattails of Black Panther and get all these black people to come in. But I'm telling you right now, if they make Superman black, I'm gonna be boycotting it right next to all the white people, man. I'm not going spending no money on a black Superman. But Static Shock, I'll be all over that. A black Green Lantern, I'll be all over that. And there's other characters they could do as well. So I appreciate you guys watching as always, man. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this bullshit? Peace.